What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're back with another off-season rebuild. We had a couple teams get eliminated yesterday in the playoffs, that being the Nuggets and the Bulls, but you guys voted you wanted to see the Bulls today, so that's what we're doing. Today we're doing a Chicago Bulls off-season rebuild. Like usual though, guys, before we get in this video, if you guys could leave it a like and subscribe if you're new around here, that'd be greatly appreciated. It helps out a lot as well. But Chicago Bulls have officially been eliminated in 5 by the Milwaukee Bucks. Ignore this bracket. It's totally wrong, but I don't think it'll matter when the second round hits. It'll be right, so that's the important part. But regardless, the Bulls have been eliminated in 5 games. And obviously, health didn't help them. Lonzo being out, Caruso, missing some time in that playoffs. And, of course, Zach LaVine was ruled out as well. So, yeah, it didn't help that. But, people do bring up the point that the Chicago Bulls in the regular season had a negative record against winning teams. So I don't know what you really take away from this if you're Chicago. I feel like I'm about to struggle with this one today because I don't really know what big move you make if you're Chicago. I'm sure they could make one as the Nets go on to win the championship, which isn't real. But once all these first round series are over, and then Atlanta upset the Miami Heat, but once all the first round series are over, I will actually have the second round bracket 100% correct. But back to Chicago Bulls, like I said, they made all these moves last offseason on paper, which looked fun and it was going to be entertaining. We thought they could be interested in the Eastern Conference, and they were, but they kind of fell off a little bit, which was the problem. So I don't really know how this team gets better, I guess you can say. Do they really just think, oh, if we had Lonzo, things would have been a lot different in this series? If we had Lonzo, Caruso, and Zach LaVine 100% healthy through those 7 games or whatever it would have went, would you beat Milwaukee in a series? Now, Chicago fans could probably, talk about that a little bit more and what you think you guys should do. But for me personally, I think I'm going to struggle with this one today. So let's just get straight into it. So obviously, for something Chicago does have is they do have the Blazers pick, but it's lottery protected. So in the future, I think the Blazers pick is lottery protected to 2028. So I assume the Blazers are going to be good next year with Damian Lillard being healthy. So maybe you get that, first round pick and you could trade it and maybe use that in a trade if you wanted to. Where it'll probably be a pick in the 20s, maybe even the teens, if the Blazers only get the 8th seed or something. But regardless, this year, you're obviously not going to get it. The Blazers are in the lottery, so that is how the lottery results went. And we do have the 18th pick overall as well in this draft, which is nice because I think next year is when Orlando has our pick from the Vucevic trade. Yes, I believe that is the case. Let me go double check that just in case. And I'm pretty sure that is that's the Mavericks. The Magic, yeah, they have our 2023 Bulls protected pick. So we do have our own pick this year, which is nice. Billy Donovan, I guess he could potentially be fired, but I'm not going to fire him today just because I don't know if he is going to be or not. I feel like it's not an easy decision. So I'm going to fill out this coaching staff real quick. Pretty much nothing crazy. So I'll be right back once I have this all filled out. So now that the staff is completely filled out, before we actually head into this draft, let's talk about avenues of getting better. First and foremost, the obvious thing is re-signing Zach LaVine this summer. I think that's what you'd want to do. I don't think you just want to let Zach LaVine walk for nothing. DeMar DeRozan was definitely surprising. Obviously not a lot of teams were interested in him going into free agency. Chicago took that chance, and he was really good for them. Obviously, in these playoffs, he was... I think game 2, he was really good, but other than that, it just kind of was bad. But of course, he was probably getting double teamed, triple teamed all the time. So out of all the playoff series, I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't pay attention as much. I did watch some of the games, don't get me wrong. I did watch this game 5 snooze fest. That wasn't very fun, and DeMar was getting double teamed a lot. But regardless, Vucevic was a little underwhelming, but we'll have to figure out what we want to do with him. Lonzo Ball, Caruso. Again, there is avenues to potentially get better than, I don't know why Patrick Williams is still hurt. I can fix that real quick because obviously he was playing in those games. And Dosunmu, another guy that you like for the Chicago Bulls team going forward. But let me fix Patrick Williams. One thing that was discussed a little bit, but it never really happened, was the potential of Chicago getting Jeremy Grant for a Patrick Williams type thing. I don't personally think that's going to happen because we all know what Jeremy Grant really wants, and that's to be a number 2 option. And Chicago, he probably wouldn't be that at all. He would make it interesting here, but... So I really don't know if I'll be doing too much today, to be honest with Chicago, because they made all their big moves last year. So I really don't know what you do this year to correct that. But there's a potential of getting some good, decent players. So you have Washington here dropping to you. And honestly, he could be a really nice, solid guard. So you could have Dosunmu and Washington as your backup guards. And I think that's a really nice guard rotation. So we'll go ahead and take Ty Washington here with our 18th overall pick and bring him in Chicago. Could honestly probably play right away on this bench. So that's great. So 75 overall. Washington, welcome in. Player options to Sumu. Of course, we're going to accept that. And then qualifying offers Troy Brown Jr. and Tyler Cook and then Malcolm Hill are all restricted free agents. And then, of course, like I said, the big thing is making sure you get Zach LaVine back. I think it would be obviously detrimental to your team if you didn't re-sign him. So, of course, I am going to re-sign Zach LaVine. I assume Zach LaVine will probably get a max contract, so I'm just going to make sure I do get him. So Zach LaVine, we should get him, which is nice. We are able to offer better than anybody else. So Zach LaVine is a Chicago Bull, which that was the most important part to take care of, obviously. So we got that taken care of. So if you look at the roster right now, you have Lonzo Ball and Kobe White, which Kobe White actually is somebody you could maybe use in a trade to get something. So maybe we actually end up trading Kobe White because he is on the last year of his contract. And I got Dosunmu, and I just also drafted Washington. And of course, you have Caruso, so I didn't even really think about that when I drafted Washington. But it's okay. Not a big deal. So Caruso, you have DeMar DeRozan in your small forward spot. You have Patrick Williams and Javonte Green, and you have Nikola Vucevic. It's your center spot. So I think our biggest avenue is using Kobe White's expiring contract, especially since he's 22 years old. Probably will have some value. You have that Blazers pick. You have the ability to definitely make some type of trade here, Javonte Green, and if you wanted to, you could maybe throw in Patrick Williams in a trade as well. But honestly, I think I want to get more of a traditional power forward for this team is my biggest thing. So if we go take a look around the league on what that could potentially be, maybe you could find a way to get to Julius Randle's money if Chicago would want to do something like that. And, you know, Randle was very disappointing in New York. But if Randle wasn't the number one option on the team, I think he could be solid. His three-point percentage went down as well, so that definitely could be scary. Again, Jeremy Grant's still there if you wanted to do that. Kuzma. But I kind of like the idea of maybe taking a chance on Julius Randle for this team. It would just be another guy that would give you like another offensive option. I don't know. It's an idea. I'm just not sure I would execute that. But definitely want to come with the more, even PJ Washington. If you could maybe convince Charlotte to do a Washington for Kobe White swap, that could be interesting. So maybe we do something like that. I think I do want to walk away with a more traditional power forward for this team, though, I think is my idea. So we're going to try that. Maybe it's Washington. Maybe it's Julius Randle for the home run hitter, if that's what we want to do. Jeremy Grant, like I said, still an option, but I'm going to try to stay away from that because I feel like I go to old reliable Jeremy Grant. I feel like a Lakers fan that's like, you know, Taylor Tucker in a first-round pick for so-so player. That's me when I trade for Jeremy Grant in every offseason video, which I haven't done that every offseason, but you get what I'm saying. Regardless, let's go ahead and find an avenue to get better using Kobe White in some type of trade. So let's go ahead and think about this a little bit because obviously we have a lot of guards. We need kind of some more forwards. So PJ Washington could make some sense for Chicago here. Get another guy here to could play a little bit of defense, shoot the three ball a little bit, and obviously be a decent offensive option. So, and then the Charlotte Hornets walk away with another guard next to LaMelo and maybe works out for them. Obviously, Charlotte more looking for a center this offseason, but this would just be a minor trade for them. They want to do something like this. I assume, though, they would like to use PJ Washington in a trade for like Miles Turner rather than getting a Kobe White, because Kobe White doesn't really do it for them all that much. But regardless, we are going to try to make this happen. Julius Randle just makes too much money. It'd be kind of impossible to get there, and I'm not even sure Chicago fans would really want Julius Randle all that much. So Kobe White and Marco for Washington, they agree. So just like that, we got PJ Washington to be our brand new power forward here, just be another forward option for us. So, and then Kobe White, we get rid of him, and it's just kind of a young player for young player swap. So a little bit of an interesting thing there. And then we need a backup center. We need a backup small forward. So let's see if we're able to accomplish that here at all. So you have Enes Freedom, which I don't think he'll be anywhere. Maxi Kleber obviously has been playing great in the playoffs. So if you could steal him from Dallas, I think you'd do it. So I'm going to go ahead and offer a Max Kleber a contract. Very cheap center as a backup. Another guy who could shoot some threes as well. Derrick Jones Jr. you could also re-sign. I probably could have maybe re-signed Derrick Jones and thrown him in like a Julius Randle trade. But again, I think it'd be kind of, I don't know. We'll see. And again, Jeremy Grant is still on the table if Chicago decided to revisit that. Even Morris. I mean, I think Chicago can't really do much. They can. I just don't have the guts to trade a Vucevic or trade a Lonzo Ball today because I just don't know how realistic that really is. They definitely could go that route. I just don't see them doing that. I feel like they'll retool a little bit, use Kobe White in some trades, see what they can get, and that'll be kind of the offseason for Chicago. Just because, like I said, they kind of had a crazy offseason, this previous one, when they got DeMar DeRozan, got Lonzo Ball, and then they got Vucevic at that previous trade deadline. So they kind of reinvented their team there. So I'm not really sure how much you're able to do that this year. But regardless, this is what we come away with. Player progression, DeMar DeRozan going down in overall to 87, which is unfortunate. You have to hope DeMar DeRozan is just as good as he was this year for you. Zach LaVine, you brought him back, which is the W. Lonzo Ball, Vucevic, and then Alex Caruso going down And then Javonte Green going down and Tyler Cook going down. But basically, that's what I envision for Chicago. Not a whole lot going on. I feel like there'll be a trade or two there. And again, maybe they do decide to trade Vucevic, or they do decide to trade Lonzo, trade Caruso, maybe trade for Julius Randle. I don't know. Or Jeremy Grant. Like, one of those things is definitely possible. Would they trade Patrick Williams in order to do something like that, though, is the question. They have the ability to do it. Would Chicago do it? And that's where I kind of want to introduce you Chicago fans here. Like, let me know what you'd like to see your Bulls team do. Like, is Washington something that you'd be excited about, or is there something else you'd rather go for? Is there somebody that you have in mind that you think would be perfect for Chicago and like make you a lot better? Should Billy Donovan be fired? Let me know. Let me know. Definitely help me out here, because like I said, it's kind of tough for me just to make a prediction based off everything they did last year, and they already kind of had a great offseason this previous year. So health would also help out a lot, obviously. So as long as I didn't mean to change the proficiency, I'm going to go back to balance, but health is going to help out. We're going to go ahead, though, and simulate this season. We made the big move with PJ Washington coming in, so we'll see if that means anything for us. But let's see what 2K thinks about Chicago here in season number 2. See if we can make the playoffs. We should anyway, but it is 2K, so you never really know. So at the end of the season, Luka Doncic wins MVP like usual. It feels like that's what it is every time. Jabari Smith is Rookie of the Year on the Rockets. Malcolm Brogdon, 6th man on the Pacers. Giannis, Defensive Player. Deshaun Highlands, your most improved. And Lucas wins Coach of the Year. Dylan Shaw is your executive. And then, yeah, we saw that. So, All-NBA first team, Luka Doncic, John Morant, Tatum, LeBron, and Embiid. All-NBA second team, Stephen Curry, Trae Young, Giannis, Butler, and Jokic. Here's your All-NBA third team. So, no Chicago Bulls representing or anything like that. But Chicago, Lonzo Ball makes all-defensive first team, which is a good sign to see. And then all-defensive second team, all-rookie first team, and all-rookie second team. But we actually ended up being in the play-in tournament. Weirdly enough, we get to play the Charlotte Hornets, who we made a trade with. But we take a look at the player stats. It's 26 points from Levine, 23 from DeMar DeRozan, 16 from Lonzo, and 15 from Vucevic, 11 from DeSumo, and then 10 from Washington, 7 from Caruso, 6 from Williams, and 4 from Kleba. Honestly, this is a really solid team on paper. I really do like the Chicago Bulls roster. I had a feeling going into this, though, that 2K wasn't going to be high on us just because 2K, I feel like every time I've rebuilt the Chicago Bulls with this roster, 2K like gives me like the worst simulation ever. But I mean, at least this time we got to the 7th seed. I guess we have 2 chances to technically get into the playoffs here. So hopefully we're able to accomplish that feat. But let's go ahead and see if we can get into the playoffs. We do have home court advantage here, so this will be a very important game for us to win to get into the playoffs. So let's see if we can do just that. DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine going up against LaMelo Ball for a playoff spot. Can we clinch it, or are we going to allow us to lose? It is a very close game. 108 to 111, 110, 113 to 110. It is a back and forth game. I would jump in, but 2K crashes on me, and I can never get back to this point, so I'm not going to jump in. And it is 123 to 117, and we lose. Zach LaVine drops 42, and we lose to the Charlotte Hornets, 19 from LaMelo, and 12 and 17 from Kelly Oubre. So that is not good at all. You lose after Zach LaVine drops 42. DeMar DeRozan only 17 points. Patrick Williams with 11. Lonzo with 10. Thankfully, we do have another chance, I guess, so we can be happy about that, as we do get to play the Indiana Pacers. We got Charlotte advancing to go play the Atlanta Hawks, and then this is to go see who gets to play Cleveland. So this is going to be important, because if we lose here, this will be very bad for us. Very, very bad. So looks like PJ Washington is upset about something, I think. Her personality unpredictable. Who knows? I don't know why he's upset, but we need to win this game. Very important. So Simcast with this one and see if we can get into it. So can we beat the Pacers to get into the playoffs is the question. Very important win here. It feels like I can never win, so would not be surprised if we do not go to the playoffs. And obviously, this would be doomsday scenario for Chicago. After all the moves they have made, we can barely get in the playoffs. We make the play-in tournament, and then after that, we lose. And to be honest with you, for me, I don't even know where to go from here, because like the moves were already made for Chicago to be a championship roster. These moves were made to be a championship roster, and we can't even get into the damn playoffs. So we have the Pelicans beating the Nets in 6 games. So honestly, this offseason is not going to be much more exciting. At least we'll get the Blazers pick. It's going to be protected again. So we do not get this pick. It is actually going to go back to Portland, because like I said, Portland's pick is live protected until 2028. So I guess in this case, you probably fire Billy Donovan, I would imagine. I don't think you hire Steve Nash, because you have question marks on him in your own right. Frank Vogel is out there, so I wouldn't mind getting like a Frank Vogel, but I don't think we have enough money to get him. So McGee, not real person. So you have Jeffries. Is there another head coach? Got Monroe, Billy Donovan, which I don't want him. Jason Kidd has done a great job in Dallas. I don't know if we can get him. Just somebody. Ray, Hart. I mean, Douglas. Let's see if we get either of them. None of them are going to accept. That's unfortunate. Okay, so we don't get Jason Kidd. Maybe walk away with Sloan. Jason Kidd's going to reject, unfortunately. So we get Lee Sloan. And then guard guru. We'll grab Christie. And that basically will be our coaching staff. And then, like I said, we're going to have to trade this pick back to Portland because it is actually their pick in real life because they're in the lottery. So we don't even have that pick this year at all. So let's give this back to them. Let's take that second. Okay. So just like that, team is relatively going to be the same again. I mean, there's really no way of making this team better without me, like, technically. I mean, I guess we could get creative here and maybe throw, but then it's just getting kind of weird. So Levine and Lonzo, I like. I mean, DeMar DeRozan, I guess, is technically on the last year of his contract. So maybe you move on from DeMar here, which is going to have to be my only option. So if I did trade DeMar DeRozan, which we have Tari Eason and a first from Philadelphia, which I don't want. Colin Sexton from Cleveland. Dylan Durant from Memphis. Bam Adebayo, but I'm not sure why they would do that. So we have to really find a team that would want DeMar, and then we get a decent guy in return for DeMar. So it's going to be tough to find that. I mean, I think we're just kind of stuck with DeMar DeRozan, literally. So in this draft, we don't have our pick because it goes to Orlando this year. So that sucks, but it is what it is. Let's go straight to player options in. So player options, Patrick Williams. I did not mean to decline that, and I just declined it. I'm an idiot. Wow, that is an L. Hopefully I can just re-sign him, and I can. Okay, well, whatever. I guess I have to pay him this offseason because I declined his option like an idiot. So it says PJ Washington's not interested in negotiating with us, but we get Patrick Williams on a big bag. So welcome back, Patrick Williams. I don't want to renounce PJ Washington, and I am going to once again revisit the idea of trading DeMar DeRozan since he is on a one-year expiring contract. But what do we get in return is the question. Well, we'll see. So one thing I thought of was potentially sending DeMar DeRozan back to Toronto and we get OG Anunoby out of the deal, I guess. I mean, like, that's the only other thing I could really think of. Maybe we get like a first out of Toronto. I don't know why Toronto would necessarily want DeMar DeRozan back, but I guess there's an option there where we could maybe get him back. So I'll offer this and they accept. Don't know how much I really love that for Toronto or for us. We get OG Anunoby, who will, I guess, be better defensively. I don't know, man. That I feel like I had to do something in order to maybe put us in the playoffs. PJ Washington, I do want. Oh, Vucevic free agent as well, which I do want Vucevic. So let me go get Vucevic back. So I'm gonna go ahead and offer him a deal. Let's get Nikola Vucevic. We opened up a $10 million trade exception. Did it renounce PJ Washington for me? It did, didn't it? It did. Of course it did. Why would it? Why would it not do that? Yeah, it's unrestricted. So. Yeah, I did not mean to renounce Washington. I don't even know why he's not interested in negotiating with us. So if we lost Washington, we'd be with Ty Washington and Lonzo. We'd have Caruso and Zach LaVine, OG Anunoby, Patrick Williams, and Vucevic and Maxi Kleber. So yeah, I would love for, I'd love to have Patrick Williams, or not Patrick Williams. I'd love to have Washington back. So did not mean to renounce him. And I don't even know why and DeSumo back. I wouldn't mind him back either. So let's see if we get Washington, or probably not going to get Washington back. He's literally just not interested. So DeSumo is back, play regression. So yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks out here, not gonna lie. So if I can get Washington back, I will, because obviously I would have matched anything he got. So I'm gonna have player finder for him. I'm gonna find him, and we're basically gonna simulate this year with this brand new roster without DeMar DeRozan. And the reason why I did that is because I don't know why I did it, to be honest with you, because I just don't really know what else to do with the Chicago roster. So we got OG Anunoby and a first for DeMar DeRozan, who was on an expiring contract. So does OG Anunoby make a difference is the question. I mean, we'll be better defensively for it, but we'll see what happens. Lonzo, Vucevic, and Levine are going to have to step up big time, though. OG Anunoby's good offensively as well. Let's not knock on OG Anunoby at all. His shot tendency is very low, but he is better than that in real life. So if OG Anunoby can become our DeMar DeRozan while playing defense, I'll be happy with it. So at the end of the season, Luka Doncic wins MVP again. Rookie of the Year goes to Victor. Lowered sixth man. Giannis Offensive Player. Jalen Green most improved with 30 points per game. Shout out to Jalen Green. Jason Kidd is your Coach of the Year. We could have had him, man. I don't know why he didn't accept. I feel like I needed more money to get him. But here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second team, All-NBA third team. So I will tell you, the simulation went a lot better once we got rid of DeMar DeRozan. We ended up being the 6th seed in the East. So Toronto is in the play, and it'd be fun if we get a matchup against DeMar DeRozan. But yeah, I feel like 2K is a DeMar DeRozan hater. They're also a Chicago Bulls hater, by the way, because I feel like every time I use the Chicago Bulls in 2K, the simulation just never goes all that great. But OG Anunoby, 15, 15, 15, 16, and then 23. So I didn't really necessarily want to trade DeMar DeRozan, but I was trying to prove a point because I felt like 2K was a hater, and they are. So Toronto does not get into the playoffs, which is unfortunate. Would have loved to maybe have matched up against them, but we have to go against Brooklyn anyway. So yeah, Kyrie Irving, Thomas, Ben Simmons. I don't know if we even beat Brooklyn, to be honest with you. So somebody current round against Brooklyn. We won game 1. It's actually an even series. They're up 3-2. Okay, there's a potential here of maybe upset the Brooklyn Nets, but we have to force a game 7 in order to even have a chance at that. So let's see if we can accomplish that. Close game. Looks like Brooklyn might be running away with it, though. Still a close game. Can we get into it? No, it is going to be an L for us in the first round. 25, 7, and 5. So I will be real with you. Obviously, I knew I was going to struggle today with Chicago, being realistic and figure out what their avenues are possibly going to be as far as getting better this offseason, because they did all that in the previous offseason. So we'll see what happens, though. I don't think they traded DeMar DeRozan like I did. I just kind of had to try something, I guess. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video regardless. If you're Chicago fans, definitely let me know what you would want to see the Chicago Bulls do. Even if you're not a fan, definitely let me know if there's something better that I could have done. Would definitely love to hear you guys in the comment section below. But for now, this is Crushables. I'll be back tomorrow saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.